Welcome to our 5-minute video tutorial for the Level 3 Technical Certificate. Here we're going to talk about chests. Essentially, there are only two types of chest in a mill, really. Either you use chests to hold material, and holding chests are normally quite large. A man might only be this big. Or you've got mixing chests. And mixing chests are a lot smaller, much easier to handle and control mixing if you've got a nice small mixing chest. If we talk about holding chests, first of all, what we're really concerned with holding chests are the design principles of a good holding chest. And a lot of this applies to mixing chests as well, but 8 design principles of a good holding chest. You want there to be no dead spots in the holding chest. If there are dead spots, that's where slime and bacteria can grow, so you must avoid that at all costs. You want the walls, the internal walls, to have a nice smooth finish. Again, that's really aimed at bacteria. As the fibres are swirling around, if it's not smooth, the fibres will snag on it, and then other fibres will get entangled and they'll string, so you might get string formation. And if the fibres stay there a long time, ultimately they'll get full of biological growth and you'll get the beginnings of some slime. So a nice smooth finish is essential. A sloping base. You don't want a flat bottom tank, you want it to be able to slope towards an exit so that if you need to get rid of or empty the tank, you can do. It's got to be of adequate capacity, it's got to be big enough to hold as much as you might, the maximum that you might want to hold at any one time, and a bit more. It's got to have an effective exit pipe, so not just a slope down towards it, but an exit pipe so that you can totally drain the chest if you really need to. Entering pipelines submerged. In the old days, people used to bring pipes in, stop there. And of course, when that happens, as all the water falls, it entrains air. And entrains air will give you all the problems of air in stock. So we need to avoid that. So it's very common these days for pipes to come in, down and enter from the bottom and upfill chests to avoid air entrainment. It is possible, of course, to bring a pipe in and bring it all the way down, but common practice now is bring it up like that. Safe, easy access. Safety is very, very important, and easy access to these things. And finally, full surface and body agitation. You need to have thorough mixing so that you have the same consistency everywhere. So you need to have complete movement throughout the body of the chest, and you need to have movement all over the surface of the chest. You do that by having a good agitator, but the most important thing is not to agitate too quickly, because if you agitate too quickly, you will cause fibre-fibre friction, and you will actually wet out the fibre some more, you will fibrillate, and you will increase the Shockeredler value. And what you do not want to do in any storage operation is to do any work on fibres. That's a very bad thing, so you must avoid that at all costs. Moving on to mixing chests. This is a good typical design of a mixing chest. Sloping floor, rotor with a defined pitch, motor, and this chest is designed to thoroughly mix a particular volume. But these mixing chests are always much larger than the volume of stock that they're designed to mix. And it's not uncommon, almost every mill I go into and I tell this tale, people smile. And I'll say, it's very common to overfill these chests. Rather than doing 3 mixes in a shift, people will do 2 mixes in a shift because the chest is big enough, but they don't realise the problems that they cause. This is what you should have with proper mixing chest. The size of the blade, the pitch of the blade, the rating of the motor are all designed for a particular volume of stock. And the rotor sucks in the stock behind it, pushes it forward. This slope pushes the stock up, which moves it along the surface, and then it gets sucked in. That's what it's designed to do. So you need to have thorough mixing through the body of the stock, and if you go and look at the top of the chest, you should see complete movement through the top of the chest as well. That means that that chest is operating properly. If people overfill chests, you can see what's going on here. We've got two sides of fibre designated by this, the yellow colour and the brown colour. Ideally, all this chest should be exactly the same colour, but it isn't, because the mortar, the pitch, the blade is only rated to mix this much chest. So all this stuff on the top isn't moving. How do you tell? Well, if you look at the top of the chest, absolutely no movement. That tells you that the chest is overfull. Anytime you see a chest where the surface is not moving, it is overfull. And that has consequences. What are the consequences of overfilling these chests? Changing fibre ratio. Because you're not mixing them properly, you've got an excess of one fibre at the bottom, an excess of a different fibre at the top. As the level drops, suddenly the ratio will change. It'll go from maybe 70-30 of one fibre to 30-70 of the other fibre. If you change the fibre ratio, what does that mean? Well, it doesn't make any difference to you as the operator, but to the people on the machine, terrible consequences. The wet line will change position. It'll either move towards the couch or rapidly back towards the floor box. It'll change the retention of filler and maybe fibre particles. It'll change the decal because the fibres will shrink in different ways. Different types of fibres shrink in different ways. And it could change the web tension in the dryers, depending on which way the swing is. Either the tension will get greater and potentially there will be a break, or the tension will get less and you'll end up with machine direction creases. So all these are consequences for the machine crew that the people in stock prep will never see. Why do we blend fibres? Two reasons really. We blend fibres to maximise quality and minimise cost. If we're maximising quality, what might we blend? We might blend short fibres, which will give us good formation, with long fibres that will give us good strength to get the optimum of both. If we're trying to minimise cost, then we'll be blending in broke, all this stuff that's come out of the machine. We don't want to throw it away or compost it. We want to put it back in the system to minimise our costs. And broke, by the way, typically acts as hardwood. So broke will improve your formation and you use less hardwood. So summary of what we've said in this particular seminar. Chests fall into one of two categories, either holding chests or mixing chests. Holding chests, it's important that we do not do any work on the fibres, we just got to keep them in suspension. The design considerations for holding chests, you want to minimise slime growth. So you want smooth internal walls, you want no dead spots, and you want submerged inlet pipes so that you don't incorporate air. You want to be able to fully drain the tank if you need to, therefore you need a slope towards the exit and a point at which you can have the exit pipe to totally drain what's there. You need an adequate size, you need to be able to safely enter and exit, and you need good mixing. With a mixing chest, you need complete movement through the body of the chest and complete movement on the surface of the chest. Do not overfill mixing chests. And why do we mix? We mix to maximise quality and minimise cost. Thank you for listening to this tutorial, and hope you can follow us on this social media.